Alright, so this is a video that I'm going to upload, and that I'll be talking about different styles of comedy and how I think they might not represent or correspond to the different NF oscillations. So I guess to review, what I mean by an NF oscillation is like NFJ, that's NI and FE, or introverted intuition, extroverted feeling. Another NF oscillation could be ENF, which would be extroverted intuition and extroverted feeling. So I'm talking about comedy. Why is comedy NF? I think it's because it's like narratives, it's like stories, and I think that's NF. And I think that's NF because they're abstractions that like amuse people or make people feel good or people enjoy. They're not abstractions that are useful or true or rigorous like scientific abstractions. They're abstractions that people just have fun with or enjoy. So I think that's where the N comes in as the abstraction, the F comes in with the aesthetic sensibility of it, I suppose. So with that, let's start with NFJ. I think NFJ is like stereotypical. This is different than the video I had before, but this is just an alternative interpretation. I don't know which one is right. But this is like NFJ as traditional like theater. You know, when you have a script. The script is like the NI, the group of people is the FE. And you're just working off a script. And it could be comedy, it could be theater, but this works for comedy better because I can actually see, I'm actually aware of like these different styles of comedy, whereas with theater, I'm not aware of them as much. There's like one-man shows, we can get into that later, but so NFJ, the NI, because the NI aspect versus NE, right? The NI aspect is like there's a script that we're going off. It's memorized, it's a worldview, it's a precedent, it's stored abstractions that we're going to act on in a group. That's the FE. What's the NE? The NE is like, well, it's on the fly, it's creative. That's like improv, that's improvised stand-up or stand-prov. When we get into the FI bit compared to FE, it's like, is there a group of people interacting on stage, or is it just an individual with his own thoughts and his own takes on things? So those are the differences. Like, you know, it's kind of like OPS stuff, like self versus tribe, and gather versus organize, I guess. If you take organize as being about essentially collating or working off of a historical precedent. So stand up, we did NFJ, so I guess we can go ENF, which is like improv. There's a group of people that you're on stage with, and you're making stuff up as you go. There's no script, there's no NI, it's just NE, it's creative in the moment. FE, because there's a group. And then NFP, we can go from ENF to NFP, which is NE and FI. That's when there's one person pretty much on stage just kind of riffing, like crowd work and stand-up. Andrew Schultz, Todd Berry had a special like that. Reggie Watts didn't necessarily do crowd work on his specials when he does that type of stuff, but he's just making stuff up as he goes along. He does the same thing with music, though. Those are probably the main people that do that. Oh, Rory Scovel. Rory Scovel had a YouTube special that he released where it was like 6 shows of just crowd work mixed with just improvised stand-up. So that's NFP. Then you have INF, which is just stand-up when you're just working, not necessarily off of a script, but it's based on like a set, you know, a set that you've worked on that you're just gonna, for the most part, do as you prepared it and as you practiced it. So that was this video idea, just the different types of NF oscillations in comedy. So you have NFJ theater or movies or whatever. Then you have ENF improv, NFP stand-up prov, or improvised stand-up, and INF stand-up. That's all I had.